the panel today, talking about how to improve Chennai's green cover. So, with every sort of cyclone that we've had in the past few years, we've had disturbing accounts of how many trees Chennai has lost. And it's not just due to natural calamities that the city's green cover is shrinking. We've seen instances where, such as the trees being felled at Koturpuram Green Park, or so both public entities and private individuals have been involved in felling of trees for various reasons. So Chennai has been losing tree cover because of all these reasons. And we wanted to bring a lot of stakeholders together to talk about what the status of Chennai's tree cover is. How can we build on what we have right now and make up for the green cover that the city has lost? So we have a very diverse panel today of civil society citizens who are very interested in greening Chennai and undertaking these efforts. Research organizations that have undertaken research on what kind of trees are suitable for Chennai, how much is the extent of green cover. Organizations that are working on innovative techniques such as creating Miyawaki forests. And we also have a representative from the Greater Chennai Corporation joining us from the Parks Department today to talk about what the authorities are also doing in the sort of effort to green Chennai. So we have all our panelists here right now with us, and I wanted to I want to lay out the format in which this talk, the webinar will proceed. So each of our panelists will deliver an opening statement and talk about share their thoughts on greening Chennai and what are the efforts that are being undertaken right now. And then this will be followed by questions that are being posed to the panelists by us about their work and about their thoughts. And following this, we'll open the floor to the public who have joined, and we'll take questions. So whatever questions you might have, if you can please save it to the end of the session, that would be great. So I'd like to begin by introducing our panel today. So we have with us Mr. T.D. Babu, who's a founder of Spark and a trustee of Niral. We have Mr. Ramalingam, who's a citizen who belongs to Ambattur and he's also a civic activist. We have Mr. Krishna Kumar, who's the founder and CEO of Tuvakam. We have Mr. Muthu Karthik, who's a team leader of research at Care Earth Trust. We have Mrs. Meera Ravikumar, who's a member of the Swachh Gandhinagar organization. And then we have Mr. V. Bhuvaneshwaran, who's an executive engineer at the Parks Department of Greater Chennai Corporation. So I'd like to begin by opening the floor to the opening remarks from Mr. Krishna Kumar on what is being done in Chennai with regards to greening. So, Mr. Krishna Kumar, we've all heard about the creation of Miyawaki forests in Chennai. This is one of the new initiatives that is being undertaken. So, he's behind some of the Miyawaki forests that are being created in the city, and we'd like for him to speak a few words about how that is going and what the process entails.
Yeah, thank you for the brief introduction. So we started this Miyawaki method in the year 2018. So we came to know about this method and we just want to implement in Chennai. So this Miyawaki method, which was implemented in Japan. So we just want to do some of the modifications and we started implementing in Chennai. Past 1 year, we are working with Greater Chennai Corporation. So in the city itself, we have created more than small Miyawaki urban forests. More than 11 forests we have created right now. So with Greater Chennai Corporation, we have created more than 5 forests. So in Cholinganallur and Mogalivakam, and then we have created one in Omandurar Government Hospital, and then we are also created in Anna Institute of Management. So we planted more than some 10,000 trees in the 2 acres of land. So this Miyawaki method is totally different from our conventional method of replantation. So as we all know, Chennai is like a concrete jungle, so it's full of buildings. That much greenery is not there. As recent research also said, nearly 15 to 16% only we have a green cover in Chennai. So we started this Miyawaki method to improve the green cover. As from I think most of them not able to see small species of birds or animals like that. So we just want to create more biodiversity to bring in more small species into this forest. So it's a man-made forest. We are not going against our nature or do anything. So whatever is needed for the trees, sunlight and the manure and everything we are giving to the land, and we are creating this forest. So with Greater Chennai Corporation, we are also planning to create some more forests inside the cities in next 2-3 months. The work is going on with the Greater Chennai Corporation, and we are also done in corporation. It's doing it's their need, but a lot of individuals they started creating mini Miyawaki urban forests in their home also. So still now we have created more than 20 forests in past 2 years. So with the support of more people, we are also looking to create more such forests in Chennai.
Thank you so much for sharing what you've been working on, sir. I'd like to turn to Mrs. Meera, and I want to know about what is the work of Swachh Gandhinagar. How did you get involved in the effort to conserve trees in the city? What drove you to say this needs some action, and I want to get involved in this?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, Citizen Matters, for inviting me to share my thoughts with the group. We actually we formed as a residents group in Gandhinagar. That was in 2015. We were majorly working for solid waste management, creating awareness, composting, and all those things. And we also used to go around and enjoy. In Gandhinagar we have we are blessed with enough greenery, and we used to conduct tree walk and enjoy the blessing we have around and all those things. After the Varda happened, only suddenly we understood what what greenery we have around may even in a second it may go, and we have to consistently work to improve and protect the greenery around. So we that time only we thought of having tree plantation, more planting more saplings around us. uh, so we approached the corporation, Greater Chennai Corporation, and and at that time we planted around 150 saplings in our in the different stretches. And we formed a small group. So the condition with the corporation is that they will help us with the planting work, but care, nurturing the plants, the residents have to take care. So we just formed a small group of committed people who are interested in volunteering for nurturing the trees, and we were watering regularly. Summertime we were using doing the mulching and adding compost, whatever home composting we were doing. We were adding the manure to them and a nurture. And we are happy to see at least 70 of the saplings that we have planted at that time have come up now. So yeah, so like it is actually the success rate when when we talk to people, it seems that saplings on public spaces terribly get vandalized and abused, and the survival rate is very less. So you really need to care. What we are seeing is like many people, they conduct this tree planting drive, but how many of them are really caring about nurturing them? That's a big question. So it is so what I feel is that we can just focus on our neighborhood, protecting whatever we have and replenishing more, instead of we going somewhere and doing some planting and coming back. It's better we enjoy the greenery and greenery, vegetation, whatever we have, just work with your own neighborhood. That is the best thing, that's the success model what we can have. So again, now we have done again during New Year, we have done few more tree planting, and we are now watering it, and we have taken like, we will, again, it is only very committed few. See, if you are going for a planting, event or something, we will see, many people will join. If it is a, it's an occasion, means people will join, they will, just come and plant one tree, and but later on, how many of us are really, committed towards it? That is only matters when it comes to improving the vegetation around us. So again, it is a small group of 4 or 5 of us. Again, we are going around and watering and seeing and providing the tree guards and all those things. So what now we are doing is like, the old trees which is already grown up, we are taking the tree guards and putting, giving guards to the new saplings. So that is going on. That is
Thank you so much for detailing all the efforts that and how much it actually takes to be involved in something like this, an initiative like this. So I'd now like to turn to Mr. Muthu Karthik to talk about the extent of green cover in Chennai. We know that we lost some trees during the cyclone Varda. We've lost some trees in the subsequent cyclones. So when you say the Chennai's tree cover is say between 15 to 18%, what does that actually mean? How is this measured? And so how do we know what the extent of Chennai's green cover is?
Um, uh, Thank you, Arna. Um, um, Myself, Muthu Karthik. I'm working as a botanist with the Carrot Trust for the past 11 years. Um, uh, our organization is involved in doing research and conservation of biodiversity. Um, we have been working all through the country, and we are also working on the urban biodiversity and urban vegetation studies. And one such is the Chennai Green Cover Study. Uh, we Greater Chennai Corporation has given us the work to assess and prepare a detailed project report and plantation strategy to implement and to carry on the further plantation activities in the city that are suitable for Chennai. In 2017 we did the project. This project came especially after the cyclone Varda. Because everyone is asking how many trees we have lost, how many trees the city has lost, and what do we have in hands. There are so many questions. So we did a proper assessment throughout the city. Through the 430 square kilometers of the GCC. It's like we did that ground field works using the standard biological methods of sampling methods to assess the tree cover all along the streets. The streets that are property of GCC, and then we uh, take the data and did the analysis using the latest GIS softwares and other analyzing softwares, and we combined the results of both and presented the results. And based on the results, we prepared the plantation strategy for this city. And we should thank GCC for implementing that immediately. Um, one of our main strategy was to go strictly for indigenous species plantation, and GCC did it right away in 2017. Um, so coming to the number of trees in Chennai, or green cover in Chennai, Chennai is as one of the least green cover in the country among the metropolitan cities. Um, we have since we are naturally, Chennai is a coastal city that is prone to weather extremities. We have heavy downpour of rains, flooding occurs, and we have cyclones. This is common in the east coast. So naturally, Chennai is vulnerable to the climate extremities, and the plantation strategy also. What trees to plant and what not to plant is should be based on the city's geographical situation. Um, Also, the green cover we assessed along with the groundworks, and we did with the analysis of GIS softwares. We came across some close to 15 percentage of the city is covered under vegetation, and if you look at tree cover, it's much lesser. And our zone wise, if you see, Adair zone has close to 30% of the city's green cover, followed by the Tenambet zone, and then Anna Nagar zone, and the northern zones like Manali, Ennur, um, and then Thiruvattur. These zones, and mainly Perungudi, these zones have very least vegetation cover, green cover also. So we should talk about this in this meeting.
Thank you so much for sharing some preliminary
Thank you.
sort of insights from your from the study, that extensive study that has been conducted by Care Earth. So now I want to bring in Mr. Bhuneshwaran from the GCC to talk about what measures the GCC has taken to improve Chennai's green cover in light of the report that has been submitted by Care Earth, and also generally what are the efforts that are underway at the moment.
Good evening, madam. Good evening to everyone. I am Bhuneshwaran, Executive Engineer, Chennai Corporation. Concerning corporation, we have developed 702 parks all over the city. The Chennai Corporation has the area coverage of 624 square kilometers. So, out of the there are 702 parks, 99 center medians, 99 traffic island parks, 163 roadside parks. So many parks are parks are available at present. Apart from that, at present we are constructing parks in OSR land. That is OSR land from the private parties, and we are doing Miyawaki forest also, and we have done sensory park at Santom. That is for the, you can say, differently abled people. That's a special thing. And we are giving adoption for any private firm, company, public sector, private residential welfare association. Like that, we are giving adoption. That is, previously the adoption was they have to the public or the private company or the any shop, jewelry shop or any textile shop, they should submit some amount, deposit some amount, and get the adoption for adoption of a park. Now our our corporation commissioner has relaxed that thing. Without paying any rupee, any person can adopt a park in Chennai city. So people are welcome to adopt parks in Chennai city for maintaining, and they can keep their advertisement also. And for every year they have to renew in budget year, like end of the budget year, March, like that, without paying money, they can maintain now. And presently now there are many open space reserve lands. We are constructing a lot of works around 50 crores. And we are now under our head, what do you call, our top brass of the corporation is much interested in greenery of the city, because the city beautification will make a aesthetic effect in the eyes of the tourists, and rather than the own Chennai city people, like that I can say. And we are concerning that adoption, there is one called Pasumai Thittam. We are having a website Gmail address we are having, and in the, what do you call, in the script we will give that Gmail address. The public can contact through that Gmail address. They can apply for adoption, and they can get any park in the Chennai city for adoption. And other things, if you have any complaint concerning like falling off a tree or something like that, you can call 1913 complaint, and you can get relief from that problem. Suppose one tree is about to fall in the street or a nearby building, that for that you can complain to 1913 complaint cell, and you can get a relief from the corporation from the danger of falling over the car or something like that, or a man.
Thank you, sir. So
Yes,
we'll
madam. Thank you.
thank you so much. So for detailing how the citizens also can be involved in this.
Yes.
So we'll get back to you with some more questions about this initiative and the other efforts of the corporation. I'd like to bring in Mr. T.D. Babu who's a trustee of Miral to talk about the state of tree conservation in the city as they see it. Miral has been working closely. Niral has been one of the forefront organizations in the forefront of conserving existing trees and ensuring greening is happening in the city. So I'd like Mr. Babu to talk about what the current status of trees in Chennai is.
Hello. Yeah, I'm very happy and to know that people have started talking about trees much. But the sad thing is, that we have to wait for a disaster to bring the trees in the center stage. Only these happening has become and has taken a momentum after the Varda cyclone. We have been creating awareness since 2006 and talking about tree abusers and protecting or conserving the mature trees. See, first of all, people should be aware of the trees before knowing how to conserve it. Unless you know about the trees, you may not be able to conserve. So that I think we have achieved a bit, because if you see 5 years before, any media, if you say, they will be quoting, there are so many numbers of trees were being planted, or so many numbers only they would have been referring. But since 5 years, you would have seen in many papers listing the native trees, what trees were planted, and all those things. I think in that way, Niral has given a very good impact among the city residents, so that now they have started asking for native trees by names. It's not about the visual appeal, it's about the name of the trees which they are aware and they wanted to. And as rightly said, as Muthu Karthik, that right species at right locations. Unless, see, when you want to take a restorations, you should know the landscape or landscape of the Chennai. Usually, we always generally categorize Chennai as a coastal city, that is Neithal Nilam. But we forget that it represents all the five landscapes in this city. That is Mullai, Marudam, Neithal, Palai, and Kurinji. Though we don't have a huge mountains, we have Paringimalai and Perumbakam, we have a mount, and even in Tambaram, we have a mount. So unless we know the geographical and the landscape, we may not be able to plant right species in a right locations. For example, in Chemius Road, which is just 100 feet or less than 100 feet road, we have corporation or the government agencies have planted lots of alamarams. In Santham Road is lesser than that width. So they have planted alamarams there also. One alamaram can spread acres of lands. So we should know, maybe the contractor who takes the job is not aware of what kind of trees. It's just amount of saplings has to be. It's like a target of numbers. It's not about the right species. I think that we have to come out and we have to realize. And of late, corporation has realized it, and I think they have also put up our guidelines of planting trees of at different locations based on the road width and the pavement width in the website. I think still it is there in their website. So this is another thing is, we have to involve the community in planting of any government planting programs. It's just we disconnect the residents and just plant it and forget it. And we have, because of that disconnect, we have not been able to attain so much in survival rates. So conservation is not been happening in a long, in a bigger way. So we have to, at the same time, season of planting. That is, at what season we have to plant. Because you could see the planting happens only based on the availability of the saplings and not based on the season. So they have started planting in the midsummer. So that is also gives a very big failure in survival rate. So if you have a community involvement, I think you can make a big difference, as we have done it in converting a dump yard into a tree park, which is really first of its kind in the city. I think it is also in India, I can say it, because it is purely on volunteers and the local residents and the public who had come and volunteered and converted a 4.5 acres of a dump yard into a tree park with 160 species, and it includes many endangered species. For example, Ashoka maram, that is the real Ashoka, and many other species. So that kind of involvement, I think, should be made by the corporation. I think they have realized it, and now they have come forward for allowing people and public to adopt the parks by the residential associations. That is a good move. I think with this short note, I can finish as a first round.
Yes.
This one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for raising an important point about firstly having the intent to do this, but also having the right knowledge to understand what samplings have to be planted when and where, and that goes a long way in the effort that is being put by the people. So I'd like to bring in finally Mr. Ramalingam, who has been an active citizen attempting to undertaking greening efforts in Ambattur, to talk about his experience and what are the challenges that they have faced in urban greening in the Ambattur area.
Ramalingam from Ambattur, aged 75. I have been living in Ambattur since 1967. Say very recently, some 10 years back, when I visited a government school, I could see there was no greeneries at all. It is a government school run by corporation. Then I requested them to plant trees. They wanted me to organize. Then I requested forest department to plant trees, but they are not building. They told they can give trees, but planting has to be done by me. That's what the information I got. Then I started doing, I collected some handful of people. I did that plantation of samplings, and it was nurtured by school. But I repeated it because of the various Varda, all this thing. It is again vanishing. But with all that, we have planted more than 60 trees, 60 samplings, and it is growing well. So then we started, why don't we do the same thing to other schools also? All the government schools in Ambattur, we visited, and whatever the thing possible, we have started doing it. So planting, samplings, everything, nurturing and visiting, all this usual thing we are doing. Then say one day we thought, so why don't we have a group of people to do the same everywhere? So some few people assembled and they told they can contribute. Then we started experimenting on streets. But the problem in streets, we have to provide tree cover, that is the tree guard, which is costing more than 400 rupees. Once we spent 100, say 100 on experimental basis, and then nobody take care, they remove the tree guard and go away. That is what was happening. Then we thought it is better to plant trees wherever there is a fenced area. So we started identifying government schools, government offices, and these metro water pumping stations. In Chennai Corporation, there are more than 200 pumping stations in Chennai. In Ambattur, it is more than 20. Say we went and approached Metro Water, they agreed, we also planted. But the thing is, they don't want to take care of watering and pruning, all these things. But again, say the same thing. Unless there is going to be a participation by the, that is, custodians, it is very difficult to nurture it. Now, say for more than 1 year, every Sunday morning we used to go identify a place and start planting samplings, and it is more than 7,000 samplings we did. The areas what we were selected was, that is, burial grounds. Number 3 burial grounds we have planted samplings. Then same way, pumping stations, metro water pumping stations and government schools. Then very recently, Chennai Corporation, they have started regenerating the water bodies in Ambattur on our request. There are more than 30 water bodies in Ambattur, but out of which we took one say lake, not lake, it is a tank, Erakulam or something. We have planted more than 160 samplings. Fencing was done by Environment EFI, Environment Foundation of India. But they also, they don't care about nurturing. They just went away, and all the trees have gone, all the saplings have gone. So it is painful of exercise. Say we went voluntarily, want to make the Ambattur green. Say that is what our aim is. Ambattur Pasumai Karangal we have formed. But only thing is we are so much confused how to get involved the people around. Nobody likes planting trees. Say, to be frank, even though everybody is talking, government way of working, say they have a park department. Say I have requested, I have made several letters to superintending engineer parks to make use of OSR lands in Ambattur. But unfortunately, I have not received any response. Finally, last month, the one OSR land was, and they started doing that park formation. That is the only things I could do with the corporation. Corporation people, they are just releasing tenders for planting trees. I could find it is just to complete the task. Say they plant trees wherever it is not necessary, wherever convenient to them. They are not watering at all. The man sitting in Mysore, today I am telling, the man sitting in Mysore, he took the contract, he is operating, he couldn't do it. I talked to that man also. What is that you have planted samplings and not watering, nobody to take care? No, he is unable to answer. So unless there is going to be a participation, that is, citizen has to be involved in planting samplings, and then only it is possible. In Ambattur. Ambattur is the area where I am sitting is what 82. You have got less than 10% green coverage. So with all that, now we are doing for the last 1 year, due to coronavirus, we have started doing only maintenance of trees. That is, we are not going for any plantation. Wherever we have planted trees, we visit and do pruning and do farming, whatever the things possible to nurture the samplings, we are doing it.
Thank you for talking about what your efforts are, and I'm sure we can have some of our panelists answer some of your questions also about how citizens can go about this initiative. I'd like to go back to Mr. Muthu Karthik to talk about urban afforestation drives. So we have a lot of interested citizen groups, civil society organizations, and corporate companies as part of their CSR undertaking urban afforestation and planting saplings. So what would be the things that people undertaking such initiatives must keep in mind?
Yeah, these initiatives, I mean, it's a kind of a double-edged sword. Um, you know, whether it is a government or private entities that do the wrong plantation or the plants that are not required for the city, the plants that are non-native to this land. So we discussed in meeting with the GCC. So the commissioner was saying we have to be. I think there is a format in their website, in GCC website, where you can apply for it, and then you should know we should give which species are we going to do and on which place, because in metro cities like Chennai, especially that 130 square kilometer core Chennai, the Chennai Corporation before 2011. These areas have all the wires and tubes are under the ground, and everything is running under the ground. And now you have stormwater drainage on almost all the streets. As a citizen, if we are taking initiative to do plantation in a city, I think we should talk to the local assistant engineer or any the corporation engineer in charge of the place before doing any such activity. And the choice of species also. We may not know. Sometimes the engineer, the busy engineers, he may not know what's the right species they are planting. For example, if you in China, people like to plant and see the tree growth in a short time. So we can easily plant a copper pod or Delonix, and we can have we can say things like the flowers are beautiful, the tree is elegant, and also things like that. But the tree grows faster in 10 years and fell down at the 11th year. This gives damages to the properties, and again uh, um, the concerned people will get angry of um, having a tree in their um, on their streets. So it's like that. So as a citizen, I think it is good, because GCC has a separate department for the parks also. So there are point persons there. There are point persons for managing the. There are point persons for right. I think right now GCC has yeah, people who can do the tree pruning also. So they are doing that. It is better to consult them, and if the corporation, if they have an idea of, for example, if they have a plan of doing plantation in a particular street or in a particular ward, um, they can involve themselves. The citizens can involve themselves, and the GCC can have the benefit of procuring the saplings from the public. So I think consultations are required.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
raising
thank
some
you.
important points about what are the thoughts that should go behind, what is the amount of planning that needs to go behind such a forestation drive. So it can't be a thoughtless one-time exercise, but a thoughtful sort of long-term commitment that people have to make when undertaking these efforts. I want to turn to Mr. Krishna Kumar to talk about the Miyawaki forest effort. So he has outlined what kind of what are the areas where the Miyawaki forests are coming up. So, sir, if you can speak a little bit about what are the benefits that Miyawaki forests would bring, and so how is it different from, say, urban afforestation drives? And also, citizens themselves want to create such small Miyawaki forests in their area. Is it possible for them to do it?
Yes, citizens also they can start doing. So in 2018, just we were started with a pilot project in a school. So we started in a 200 square feet land where we planted around some 40 trees only. So we are what we are doing. Just we are choosing the land area with use of machineries. We are digging the soil. So we are excavating the soil for 3 feet. We are adding three things to the soil. One is manure. We are adding bio manure. Another one is for water retainer. It's for retention of water. We are adding cocoa peat or sugarcane bagasse, which is locally available in the market. And then we are adding perforator, Tamil Arisi Ummin Solum. It's for root penetration. These three things we added with the soil which excavated, we added with the soil, and we are planting the trees very nearby. So what we are doing, we chosen 4 layers of trees. As we all know, we choose some shrub trees which grow up to 3 shrubs which grows up to 3 feet, and then a sub tree which grows up to 8 feet, and tree layer which grows up to 25 feet, and canopy of trees. So these 4 layers were planted inside the Miyawaki urban forest. So the main difference is the gap between the trees is comparatively less than conventional tree plantation. So what it happens, different families trees are fighting with each other and growing a little bit faster than a normal tree plantation, because we are adding manure and other needed materials with the soil already. And then we are mulching the land area with the Vaiko. So we are mulching with the that materials. So what happens within a 6 months, the trees are growing very well. The main things, the watering is important for the this kind of a plantation. So we are choosing native trees which is suitable for the soil. We will do the soil test and we are doing that. So in this method, within 1.5 years, we can see a good growth. 20 to 25 feet of trees are growing very well. In Pundamali, the 2 years forest is there. We can go and visit. Otherwise, in Chennai also, we have created a 2-3 forest in Mogalivakam. It's an 8-month-old forest. The trees are growing very well. With the public participation only, we are doing plantation and other regular maintenance activity of the things. So if any private or individual people they want to do, there are a lot of videos available in the net. So they can start creating a small forest. So there is a code, right? There is no plan B or planet B. So we have only our Earth. We need to take care of the things. So a lot of new initiatives are coming. So without affecting our normal waste, we are doing this Miyawaki method of tree plantation. So we are also trying to engage more number of volunteers, as other panelists said. So we can do plantation, but maintenance is very much important for the trees to grow very well. So we take care of the maintenance for the next 2 years with the support of volunteers, local people. Wherever we are doing plantation, we are creating awareness and we are engaging people to maintain the trees. So I will also share a link how to create this kind of forest so people can see through it.
Yeah, absolutely. If we'll share some resources for people who might be interested in getting into urban greening and like sort of step in the right direction that way. I wanted to bring in Mrs. Meera to talk about what are the challenges that they as a citizens group have faced during greening. So she had mentioned, outlined some of the issues that about bringing people together and long-term commitment. But are there any other challenges in terms of, say, trying to protect the trees in your area, not just about creating new trees, but if there is a tree that needs protection, if it's going to get cut down, have you faced any problems in trying to prevent things like this from happening?
Plenty of them. Like when we nurture the sapling itself, you will see a lot of vandalization there, especially when it is, avenue trees or avenue saplings. One day we'll be watering and the next day when we go, sometimes the sapling won't be there at all. So that is the case. And kind of it will be like the tree guard would have been taken off. Somebody going around, they will just try to vandalize it. So many issues like that. And another main challenge is our area is kind of a highly commercialized area, and every street there will be 1 or 2 construction sites. So the saplings near the construction sites will always get affected. So they are very insensitive. Most of this construction contractors, they are very insensitive towards the saplings in the street. Most probably we'll see all the debris dumped on the sapling. Many of them have withered also. So that is one thing. And the unscrupulous pruning, unscrupulous cutting of trees, due to construction activities, as well as this telecom people and the cable operators, all of them. Many of these issues we have faced. So and what we can, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Please go on.
No, what we can do now is certain things we cannot, once it is done, actually it is, heartbreaking to see all this, but we can just try to at least react, like putting a complaint to the corporation. And many times we have done that, especially against the construction people who are vandalizing the saplings and kind of things. So only way we can react is like registering a complaint against them to the corporation. So that we have done many times. And, once if a few complaints go, definitely they will, they used to respond positively to take care that next time it won't happen.
And I'd like to bring in Mr. Babu here to talk about the sort of destruction of mature trees that we are seeing a lot in the cities by public and private entities. We've briefly, like, there are other states like Maharashtra which have a tree act and a tree authority to help conserve trees across the state. And this is something that is sorely missed in Tamil Nadu. So I wanted to get Mr. Babu's thoughts on how such a legislation and having such a framework will help us protect Chennai's trees.
Tree Preservation Act 1972, and even Maharashtra has, and even Delhi also has a tree act. But sad thing is, Tamil Nadu doesn't have the tree act, and we have drafted with our advisor Dattatri, the first city planner, and submitted when the then Chief Minister Jayalalitha was there, and it was being accepted, but it has not been enforced, and it has not been put it in Gazette. So we are waiting for that. There were so many changes in a political scenario, so that had really made the delay in enforcement of this tree act. Unless we have a proper tree act, we cannot allow these defenseless tree veterans. Every day, we may think that the natural disasters are the main cause in uprooting many trees. But the thing is, every day there are so many trees is being cut, and if you take account of it, it will be manifold than the trees which are being uprooted during the natural disaster. So now of late, many residents are become so intolerant of leaf litters, and they doesn't want coconut also to fall in the neighbor campus. They just go to the police station, and that becomes a big issue. But whereas a citizen's complaints regarding a tree abuse in a public tree space, in public trees, it's not been addressed properly. If at all it is addressed, it is taken and registered in the police station as CSR registry. Beyond that CSR registry, there's no such action is being taken. We all say that when we cut a tree, we have to compensate with 10 saplings, but we have not seen such kind of, though we have a rule, we have not seen such an act in this. And I'm very happy to know that corporation is converting OSR into green parks or lung spaces. But irony is, the Annanagar Tower Park, which is a huge, vast green, lung space in that area, is now being converted into a housing units by Tamil Nadu Housing Board. So that is how, if that cannot be happen if there is a tree act is there. It's not just the corporation, but we can see many educational institutions and other institutions for expanding their building or the institutions structural or infrastructural development. They cut a lot of trees which goes unnoticed. And again, we don't have a sense of, see, in parallel to restoration, we need to conserve or protect what we have. See, there is no sense of tree heritage. We recently, I think, we had lost a 200 years old baobab tree in at Greens Road because of the petrol bunk dealer who had locked the tree branches so that it doesn't disturb his building. So it imbalanced the tree and it fell. Though it could have been revived, but no one came. It is just seen just as a tree and as an obstruction. We just remove clear the fallen tree without making even an attempt to revive the tree or transplant to some other safe place. So if Tree Act is being there, I think these trees would have been got a second life. And there are some tree transplantations is being done because of the public pressure, but that tree plant transplantation is also has to be done not just overnight. It has to have a preliminary methods to be undertaken at least 6 months or for at least 1 year before, so that the trees are prepared for tree plantation. But that is not being done. But again, all trees cannot be transplanted. Only certain tree species can be transplanted, but that can be happen only when we have a strong willpower and the Tree Act. And at the same time, we have been telling that we should have ward level tree committee, where there should be a representation of public, an expert, and tree lovers, and again the forest department and concerned other road department, BRR, whatever the concerned authorities should be there. And at least we should, every neighbor should know there is no inventory of trees. Actually, we had made first time in zone in Ward 176 before Varda itself. But when there was a meeting called for what in the GC, even GCC were not able to tell exact numbers, but we were able to tell how many trees were uprooted and what are the species was got uprooted in Ward 176 and how many trees can be planted. So if you have a GPS mapping system, and the then DC Vijay Pingle was so supportive, and he wanted to take it forward to map all the 200 watts. But unfortunately, he was being transferred, and that has gone to cold storage. But that has to be revived. And again, tree abuses. Corporation has announced penalty of GO has been released on penalizing tree abusers. But every day, every minute, the trees, the mature trees, have been abused without indiscriminately. So these are the things which I think we have to. And another thing is, while cutting this Miyawaki or Miyawaki forest is okay, because see, I am not an expert, I am not a botanist, I am just a marine biologist. See, Miyawaki, as rightly Krishna Kumar said, that we could see within 2 years the height of the tree is so not tall, and it's very quick growing. But this cannot be a quick fix in as a loss for other forest loss of the trees across the city. Because see, a tree, for example, Magidam tree can spread 10 meters diameter or more than that. But the thing is, when you plant it in a cluster, so close proximity, the tree loses its profile. So it cannot spread horizontally. So it's all the energy is being used to grow tall. So it loses its in a tree profile, and decreases the surface area of a particular tree, which can really provide. Actually, trees are all is an habitat for many living beings, a living community. So I don't think that is being used as a tool as a compensatory for greening for the loss they have been done. That is being seen even when you see that Tirvika Punga, we have lost so much area, but you cannot just have 2000 trees in one limited spaces and say that we have compensated. No,
Yes.
it cannot be compensated, and it cannot be a proper. This is okay for the countries like Japan, where the land, it's an island, so they have a land scarcity, but we cannot expand our concrete jungle and shrink our lung spaces with that.
Yes.
And these things will be taken care by the Tree Act. Again,
Yeah.
there is the lack of health management, tree health management. So tree health management is a very big lacune. Why we are, that is because of that we lose a lot of trees, mature trees, which cannot be compensated for 1,000 saplings which you plant. We have
Yes.
been hearing for 10 decades, that is 1 decade, that lakhs of trees have been planted either by the government institutions or the private or spiritual organizations in crores, in lakhs. By this time, I think Chennai should have become an Amazon forest. Where are the trees? We have not, but we have been hearing so much huge numbers. But see, these are the things which really will be taken care if a tree act comes in place.
Yes. Thank you so much for highlighting that instead of dealing with such issues on a case by case basis, there has to be an overarching legislative framework also to protect trees, because that would serve as a guidance for everybody who is trying to get into urban greening. So I'd like to bring in Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran to talk about some of the concerns that have been raised by the panel so far, as to how GCC can help citizens who want to protect Chennai's trees. So, if what must citizens do if they see that a mature tree is being cut or felled, or if any damage is being done to it? And and there are some allegations about responsiveness of GCC on this issue. So, I'd like to bring in Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran to just talk about that.
Aruna, I think that there's this problem with the connection. I'll just check it out in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, perhaps we can move on to Mr. Ramalingam to also talk about what are the challenges that you have faced, sir. Like Ms. Meera has pointed out that there have been issues with builders who have been cutting trees in the area. So there is a question of how to balance when an area is developing, when an area like Ambattur has industries and it's seeing a little bit of development and construction activity. So how do citizens fight against such things that are going on? So if you're losing trees to say a new building or a new industry, so what have you been able to do? Have you been able to fight this in any way in the recent years? Sir, you're on mute.
Hello, can you hear
yes,
me?
sir. Yes, yeah, we can hear
The
you.
only thing is, say when somebody removed the tree, then I went and requested why she has done the job. No, she just made a case against me, women harassment case. I was booked by the police, and I went to police, and I have to argue all my with all my details. This is how things are going. Are we really want to have Chennai with more green cover? Is my doubt, because Chennai Corporation, they have got 575 OSR lands. As on today, 575 OSR lands they have. Say, I want government to come forward and ask for suggestion from the citizens, so that there are a lot of people who want to plant trees. But the only thing is they are afraid of all these harassments. So sewage pumping station, 200 sewage pumping station, you can plant 100 means 20,000 saplings can be planted. OSR land, 575, you can plant more trees. Water bodies around, you can plant huge alamaram or arasamaram, whatever thing you can plant there. So it is, we have to be very serious. We have to be really, or we want to go give something to society, means government or corporation, they should call for the tree lovers. There are a lot of people in Chennai, say Nilhal, EFI, Tree Trust, all these people are there. Individually, Mr. Batmanaban, who is distributing saplings to anybody and everybody, Iswar in Ambattur. So a lot of people are there, they want to concentrate on green coverage. But I request someone to take, that is, they have to just organize for a meeting how to improve upon the Chennai green cover, how government can support this adoption, other things. I'm just now I'm hearing, because when I went inside the corporation area, I have been questioned. You are not. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. Please speak.
Say when I went to say where the EFA has done the regeneration of a tank, I went inside and started planting. Then I was questioned. Say adoption, nobody. I don't know whom to approach adoption of this thing. I have in Ambattur there are 30 water bodies. You can plant huge amount of samplings around. There are fencing, compound walls available. I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
Then Miyawaki forest is a costliest affair. Miyawaki, it is just, say, I have seen Miyawaki forest in Ambattur Industrial Estate. They dig the earth for more than 10 feet and manure, this grass, everything they have just put. Say it is lot of amount they have spent. There is shade trees. That is from Bangalore, they did the job. I was watching for more than 2 months. They spent a lot on that. And each tree, say they have to spend more than 1,000 rupees to grow in a particular small space. So somehow I am not for that, but we have enough space in and around Chennai. We can do it normally. So I am not an expert, but only thing is, out of my experience in 10 years, in my area, I have just planted Mahidam trees. More than 50 Mahidam trees are available, and still it is growing. Same way, Pungai Maram. It can grow in any environment. Pungai Maram. It is also good. So there are a lot of things, but the only thing is they have to form a committee. And they should just, the government also, people should understand government also interested in changing Chennai as green cover. It is not, I don't believe, but people are not believing. We have problems. Say NGOs, they have problems. And with all that we will be doing it, we are doing it.
I'd like to bring in Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran to address some of the issues that have been raised by the panelists. So people have questions about how do they go about planting trees? Will they get any assistance from the corporation if they want to do that?
The crimination grounds, they can just crimination grounds. Actually, I went to visited more than 7 or 8 crimination grounds. It is horrible. Nobody is maintaining. You can plant trees if you go to north and everywhere. Crimination ground, Hindu crimination ground means neglected antisocial activities ground. So they can nurture that. They can. It is a covered area with compound wall. They can plant trees and they can keep it very beautifully. I don't know.
We'll bring in Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran to talk about some of the efforts.
It is my feelings. It is my personal this thing.
Yes. We'll get Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran to talk about how corporation and the citizens could work together on some of this.
Yes.
And also issues about how citizens can actually raise complaints about trees getting chopped and get these issues resolved and also protect the trees. So how can citizens and COC work together on this issue?
Yes, madam. First of all, I would like to thank to raise questions again, questions about these issues regarding this tree planting and safeguarding the trees. One sir told me that in the meeting that to whom to contact for this adoption process. They can contact the nodal officer, Parks Department, Chennai Corporation Ribbon Building, Chennai 3, on the 4th floor of Hamma Maligai. The nodal officer is Assistant Executive Engineer in the Parks section, Parks Department. They can contact that person. They can get clarified from that person for the adoption. Next is that cremation grounds in the north part of Chennai. We are going to make the next step. First of all, we are creating parks in the open space reserve lands. About more than 60 crores now overall Chennai. And one sir told in that meeting that Ambattur only one work is going on. Sir, for kind information, now at present about 10 works have been started sir, recently, sir. And within a month you will see the in your eyes itself. You can see openly that works are going on. Now only leveling is started. They will start paving and planting the trees. Things more than 10 works are started now in Ambattur area, that is zone 7. And another, once are told that Santo, there are trees are less, something like that. See, the width of the road, Santam road is a bit about around 30 feet only. We cannot plant trees like a broad, wide and wide, which in the top wider plant முடியாது. And based on the width of the street or the road, the plant can be decided. Next, I come to the another point. Cremation grounds, you see the Kannamapeta ground. நல்லா இருக்கும் பாருங்களேன், you can see it easily. கண்ணமாப்பேட்டை கிரவுண்ட் வந்து இது மாதிரி கிரிமேஷன் கிரவுண்ட் மாதிரியே இருக்காது, வலைக்கு பார்க் மாதிரியே இருக்கும். சரியா? It's an example only. I don't mean that we have done everything. We are at in the process. We are in the process only. We will achieve the situation where the people will laud us. Next, in the Marina Beach, you can in the morning people are walking. They go for walking, and you can see the Marina Beach lawn. There are about 11 lands. 11 lands are there. In the lands there are grass and trees are there. You can have a nice look in the beach. And there was a discussion that I could not hear some words, some questions. So,
yes, so one thing that we wanted to raise, or the citizens want to know, is if they see some tree felling, or they have any problems with the trees, like somebody is chopping down a tree and they want to raise a complaint.
Yes.
So sometimes these resolutions take time, by which time the tree is already chopped. So
yes.
How can citizens get a quick response from the corporation when they see something like this happening?
For that, I can give you 3 numbers. That is, now recently there are 3 people have been appointed in the cadre of Assistant Director Horticulture. Assistant Director Horticulture, we call it a Superintendent of Parks. In the north region 1, northern region 1 Superintendent of Parks, central region 1 Superintendent of Parks, the south region 1 Superintendent of Parks. For south region like Annanagar and these zone 15 and Pradivakam, Alandur, everything, I can give you the number. Please note down if possible.
Yes,
shall we give in the writing that is in the script?
Yes, sir. So if you can share it with us, Citizen Matters will put out these numbers that citizens can contact.
Shall I share now or later?
I'll take it from you, sir, and
you can share it now, sir. I'll just put it in the chat. You can share it now.
Yes, sir. Kindly note that there are 3 superintendent of parks. They are from our horticulture department, recently appointed for 3 regions: Chennai South, Chennai North, Chennai Center. They will take care of the tree, this horticulture matter only. There is a tree planting and tree pruning and every thing. They supervise everything. They report to the headquarters and they report to the regional deputy commissioner. Okay. And Tower Park, someone talked about. So Tower Park has been given adoption already. So they have to maintain that Tower Park clearly. Otherwise, the next year we will terminate that bond. That is Anumadhiya. If they do not maintain that park clearly, we will terminate that bond. We will give to someone else who come forward for good maintenance. And the next newly added area வந்து அந்த மேல வந்து வயர்லாம் போயிட்டு இருக்கும், எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் வயர்ஸ்லாம் போயிட்டு இருக்கும். அப்ப வந்து நம்ம வந்து பிளான்ட்டை வளர்க்கும் போது அந்த வயர்ல வந்து பட்டு ஏதாச்சும் பிரச்சனைகள் வர சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. அது நம்ம கீழே ரோடு எட்ஜில் வந்து என்ன சொல்றது, சாமாடு டைன்ஸ் ஆகுதார். இந்த சாமாடு டைன் மேல நம்ம வளர்க்க முடியாது. சாமாடு டைன் இந்த பக்கம் வந்தீங்கன்னா ரோடு பேசேஜ் வித் வந்துடும். பேசேஜ் ஏரியா வந்துடும். அது வெஹிக்கிள் பேசேஜ் ஏரியா வந்துடும். அதனால ஓல்டு சென்னையில வந்து அது கொஞ்சம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. சாமாடு ட்ரெயினால வந்து அது மேல மரம் வளர்க்க முடியாது. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணா நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணா ஓப்பன் ஸ்பேஸ் ரிசர்வ் லேண்ட் இல்ல நம்ம சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி மயானங்கள்ல இந்த மாதிரி வளர்த்தாலும் தாராளமா வளர்க்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. பீச்ல பிசநகர் பீச், அந்த நம்ம பீச் எல்லாத்தையும் வளர்க்கலாம். அதுல ஒன்று நார்த் சென்னையில வந்து இது ஒரு ஓல்டு சிட்டி. ஆக்சுவலா And so, Mayapur and these Tandarpettai and Korkipettai and Taj Town எல்லாம் ரொம்ப ஓல்டு சிட்டி. அங்க வந்து நெருக்கமான கட்டடங்கள் இருக்கு. ஆனால் ரோடு விட்டு ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கும். அங்க போய் பிளான்ட் வைக்க முடியாது. ஏன்னா அங்க நெருக்கமான மக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க. அது இல்லாம நான் இன்னும் சொல்ல போனா இங்க சவுத்ல இருக்க மாதிரி வசதி அங்க கொஞ்சம் கம்மி தான். சொல்ல போனா ஓப்பனா சொல்றேன். அங்க வந்து என்னன்னா நம்ம இந்த பொடுகு டம்பிங் ரோடு இருக்கு இல்லையா, அங்க வந்து மியாவாக்கி ஃபாரஸ்ட் ப்ரப்போஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அப்புறம் இந்த மணலி புதுநகர் நம்ம இந்த இதுல OSR அசோக் லைலாண்ட் ஜோன் 1 திருவொற்றியூர் அங்கெல்லாம் இப்போ ப்ரப்போஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ரீசெண்டா வந்து ரீஜனல் டெப்டி கமிஷனர் வந்து கொடுத்துருக்காரு, லிஸ்ட் கொடுத்துருக்காரு, OSR லிஸ்ட் கொடுத்தாரு. We have for about 30 number of OSR lands in one zone 1, 2, திருவொற்றியூர், மாதவரம் and மணலி. 30 roads, 30 இது நாங்கள் டிபிஆர் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டோம். within a month commissioner will sanction it and we will proceed accordingly. சரிங்களா? Any other question, please tell me. I'll answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for responding to the point. So now I want to open the floor to all the participants in the chat. So if you have any specific questions, if you could please type them out in the chat box. I'll address it to the panelists and we can have a discussion.
இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் மேட்டர். இன்னொரு பூங்கால வந்து வைஃபை ப்ரொவிஷன் கொடுக்குறாங்க சிஎஸ்ஆர் ஆக்டிவிட்டியில், கார்பரேட் சோஷியல் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி மோடில் ஏசிடி ஃபைபர் நெட் வந்து வைஃபை கொடுக்குறாங்க. 8
I think we've temporarily lost Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran. So there is one question that is about the Miyawaki forest from an attendee, Mr. Shelton, who is asking about what happens in case there is a fire in a Miyawaki forest, because the trees are really close by. And so this is not exactly like your conventional urban, say, afforestation drive. So if I can just get Mr. Krishna Kumar to address this question, please.
Yes, there is a misconception about Miyawaki method of tree plantation. So people thought they are digging for 10 feet and we are utilizing a lot of monies. But some people they are doing, yes, we agree. Conventional method is best way for tree planting, but Miyawaki method is one of the technique which corporation and a lot of other people, including we are doing that Miyawaki method of tree plantation. People thinking like creating of dense forest, like a dense type of plantation is Miyawaki, but that is not true. There are certain methods to be followed. We need to do the soil test. We need to understand the nature of the soil, and accordingly we need to act it. Yes, if we plant more dense kind of trees, surely it is possible for fire. But our climatic condition, like Chennai, it's not at all possible, I think so. We are not so much of hot. We hear a lot of forest fire from other countries only. There is not that much happens in Indian situation. So if it is possible, yes, it's possible. But there are a lot of misconception about Miyawaki method. Previously, just for a comparative, I just want to say, previous year in 2020, in Miyawaki method, we have planted around 6,000 trees. But in normal conventional method, we planted around 18,000 trees. So we also prefer to do this kind of normal conventional method of tree plantation. But this is one of the technique which people want to. It's all like an experimental way. Another method also we are also trying CRA method, climate resilient. It's one of our senior most IAS officer. He was introduced that method of tree plantation. We are also trying that, and we can see the results through that whole agro-based method of tree plantation. A lot of method of tree plantation was followed. This what to say? The time this time they are booming Miyawaki. That's it. I just want to say.
Okay. And there's another question for Mr. Muthu Karthik on what is the original vegetation type of Chennai city. So we're talking about planting native trees to ensure their longevity. So what kind of vegetation type is native to Chennai?
Yeah, Chennai being a coastal city, our forestry, if you see, we have historically degraded forests. I mean, The coast means there are intense human usage has been there. A lot of extractions has been happening since this is for I'm saying for many hundreds of years. So the forest is usually degraded if you see along, all along the Coromandel coast. It's a kind of secondary forest that we have. So uh, uh, the vegetation, if you see, the native vegetation is the grassland along with indigenous palms, especially the Palmyra palm and the Phoenix palms. The Phoenix palms, Palmyra palms, along with grasses and waterlogged areas like Vayal in Tamil they call. So this is the original vegetation situation you could see in Chennai as a kind of green cover. And we Chennai has a lot of wetlands. A number of wetlands was there. So uh, so the vegetation is also we have a lot of wetland vegetation also. For example, if you see Palikarne marsh, we have a specific vegetation for marsh, and we have wetlands, and tall trees. If you say Chennai had tall trees, it is by the that those trees are have been introduced by the during the colonial period, I would say, especially inside the city. Because historically this landscape was small villages working as a conglomerate, um, so small uh, fisherman hamlets we had means long back. So the introduction of trees and introduction of non exotic trees and tall trees were basically introduced by the European settlers. uh, they like to have a situation like back home. Um, so the original vegetation we have is scrub vegetation, scrub and grassland and palm vegetation. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of native palms in Chennai, which is the and good is that Palmyra is the state tree of the Tamil Nadu. Um, we don't see it often, and the Palmyra also grows in the shores, on the sandy beaches. So we are in the plantation strategy. We prepared also we took care of this ecological history of this landscape, taking care of that and um, uh, planting the species in alignment to the original vegetation is vital to the landscape. It also sustains the biodiversity. Other related biodiversity, associated biodiversity. For example, if you have a particular species, indigenous species planted, for example, a grassland along with Phoenix and Palmyra, if I say, there are a number of associated plants, other small animals, insects, biodiversity. I mean, it includes everything, right?
Yes.
So this associated biodiversity also will be helping it to improve.
That's a very important
Yeah.
point, because I think that's not something that we've also touched upon.
Yeah.
That the greening it's not restricted to just planting new trees, improving the green cover,
Yes.
or just for aesthetic purposes, but it's closely associated with the biodiversity that you find in a particular city. So now Mr.
Yeah, and
Babu also. Sorry. Mr. Babu.
yeah,
had-
yeah, yeah.
So sorry,
It's
sir. Go on. Please go on.
no, just one point. And planting just trees does not give back your vegetation of the landscape. By planting trees, I would say it's a standalone thing. Chennai basically historically holds shrub vegetation. I mean, scrub and shrub vegetation and grassland vegetation that we lack today, and it's very difficult to get them back again in city, and a fast developing city. So I'd say planting just trees won't be our best match to have a the vegetation.
So
Yes.
we have to think beyond. There are many factors that are
Yeah.
associated with it. It's not just about planting
Yeah,
trees,
of
and
course.
there's aftercare and also the kind of trees that we should plant. Mr. Babu had also had some inputs on this. So, sir, if you can come in and just speak about what you.
Actually, our ancestors were so brilliant, and they would have foreseen such. There would be a debate like this: what is the native on the native trees of Chennai? That's why they had already named different areas based on the predominant tree species like Panayur and Mylapore was considered as Punnaivanam and Alandur. You can see that the fig trees were predominant, and you can see Odiur. Odiur means the coastal trees like Odiamaram. So there are many trees like if you say the coastal stretch, you have Odium, Pungan, Punnai, and Punnai you can see from Tiruvanmiyur to Tiruvadandai, you can see Punnai trees as a sthalavraksham of different temples. So that itself shows that these trees are all very coastal. And similarly, if you go a bit inside, it will be like Vannimaram, a drought-resistant trees. You can still see such a huge, very old Vannimaram in IIT and even in Tiruvanmiyur temples and Kalakshetra. These are all natural wild Vanni trees. So if we start taking the documents and go to our roots, we will be able to see a lot more trees which we have lost. And once such trees are being brought in place, and I think the associated flora and fauna will start establishing. That is how we have to take it forward.
Thank you for that insight into like looking into etymology to understand what the native trees are. Right? Sometimes the answers are already like staring at you in the face. So one last question before we close, and Mr. Bhuvneshwaran could perhaps take this. So a couple of questions have come in about the pruning of trees and how important it is. Would pruning help? Would pruning prevent more trees from say falling during storms? And also, is this something that the COC could perhaps do based on request by citizens? So, Mr. Bhuvneshwaran, if you could just come in on this.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, madam. Pruning will definitely help the tree to live long last. In every edition, rather I can say in every unit of the corporation, we are having pruning machines, and the public wants a tree to be pruned, which is a hindrance to for the traffic or some viewer, not viewer can say, some reasons, they can approach the corporation for pruning. If the trees, if the reason is, if there is a reasonable application, we can do it. We will do it, not we can, we will do it. That is, the corporation will do it. And in the parks, we prune many not trees, the plants for aesthetic view. We can do it. So on that Ambattur sir was telling about that plant that is bodies, water bodies. அந்த கரையில நீங்க பனங்கொட்டையை வச்சீங்கன்னா பனைமரம் நட சார், ஆணி பேரு நல்லா அந்த கரையை நல்லா காப்பாத்து சார். யூ கேன் டூ இட் சார்.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks for.
Okay. Yes, madam. We can do. If the application is reasonable, we are ready to do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Aruna, can I just
yes.
ask for a clarification? No, my question was like whether in a private property like an apartment, they want to prune the tree. Where can the corporation help? Like, what we are facing is like, during the tree pruning, the people who come are totally unskilled and they are damaging the tree. So that is what I'm asking, whether the corporation can take that up for a fee or something.
Sorry, madam. In private, tell me. In private property, we will not enter I want to do these sort of things, madam. Yeah, suppose if you apply for anyone apply for that, we can consider and do it. But we cannot come that is called freely. Yes, madam.
Do we have
we can get,
have a provision
tell
in the
me.
GCC website or something to place some request?
No, you can place some request, and from that request, we will forward to the superintendent of parks. They will take action. No problem. But if it is a group of so that is like apartment, like no, we can do it. Not individual means we cannot go every individual. That is, there are a lot of houses in this Chennai city. Corporation cannot feed every fund. That's the problem. If it is, that's what I told you. If that is a reasonable one, we can come and do it. And normally, normally private property la vandu naanga entry panni naanga seyradilla madam. Even for kuppa kuda private property na avanga வீட்ல இருந்து கொண்டாந்து அந்த என்ட்ரன்ஸ்ல வச்சிரணும். அப்பதான் எங்களுடைய குப்பை கன்சர்வன்சி பீப்புள் எடுத்து போவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி வந்து உங்களோட லேண்ட்ல இருக்க மரத்தை வந்து நாங்க வந்து வெட்டுறது கொஞ்சம் யோசிக்க வேண்டிய விஷயம். I will talk to my park overseer.
Yeah,
and I will inform our madam that Aruna, and you can get the answer within 1 or 2 days. I inform Madam Aruna.
We'll keep you updated on this one. We'll share some more resources for citizens on the
issue. Yeah, at least we can share some resources where we can get professional help. That will help.
Yes, we'll keep you updated.
No, I need permission from Mr. Bhuvaneshwar.
Yes, sir. No, not from me, from the corporation.
No, from corporation. Say 30 water bodies. Say we want to plant saplings.
Yes, sir.
It was all fenced. I approached the executive engineer as a zone 7. Hello. I already approached zone 7 executive engineer, but we should be permitted to plant saplings inside the compound.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ramalingam, Ambattur Pasumai Karangal.
Yes, sir.
So I will approach you in case of any problem.
Definitely, sir. See, corporation welcomes good deeds.
Okay. I will talk to local executive engineer in case if there is a delay.
We welcome good deeds.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. This is clearly a topic that ellarkum it's so close to your heart. We could go on for longer. There are pros, there are cons, there are concerns. We are really happy at Citizen Matters to have brought a group like this together. I want to thank all our panelists, Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran, for
representing engineer me in that.
Certainly, sir. I want to thank him. I want to thank Krishna Kumar, Muthu Karthik, Mr. Ramalingam, Meera. I want to thank Babu because I share his anguish at the loss of that baobab tree. I want to thank Meera because I share her anguish when a neighbor chops a tree down ruthlessly. I understand. I've seen Krishna Kumar's project. So there is a connect with everybody here, and I think there is a lot that we can probably synthesize out of we have recorded this, and we will share. We'll post it on YouTube and we'll share it with you. We will share the horticulture superintendent's numbers that Mr. Bhuvaneshwaran has promised to give us. There is also one suggestion on Facebook which we'll throw to the experts here, and maybe we can compile some of these into an article. There was a comment which said, can we compile a guide for all these new apartment complexes that are coming up, where they all want to put exotic plants and lawn, which is not native to our country, which is water intensive, and which does nothing for the biodiversity and for the ecology of our city? Can we have a guide educating them on how they can do native trees, how they can do native plants? So we certainly will try and put as much knowledge that has come together from this session, and we'll share it on Citizen Matters. And hopefully, we'll all come together very soon to say that all of us have taken positive steps in this direction. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely evening and a great weekend ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Today.